Hello and welcome back to another episode of Nate Roams. Today I would like to share a story with you about how I had gotten my drone stuck in a tree and how we were able to retrieve it. So first of all, I found this pretty sweet spot. It was a nice open area field to practice drone maneuvers that wasn't too far away from my neighborhood. The weather was nice, it wasn't too hot, and there was hardly any wind to speak of at this moment. I even found this really cool pond area just behind the field so I could practice flying over water and becoming more comfortable with that. In the field, I knew it had trees on the outskirts of it, but it wasn't too bad, not too many obstacles. And I found this beautiful looking gazebo to use as a target or a nice centerpiece for practicing some of the quick shots that come with the DJI Mini 3. I believe this one was called the Helix, and I was very satisfied with how this was turning out. I thought I'd cancel the automatic flight path, but I didn't. This is all that I was able to see from the controller. I could see some of those maple leaves, which was very helpful, as the maple tree was pretty close to the beginning of the woods, so I knew the drone didn't go in too deep, and it looked like I could see some shorter grass there on the left. But the first thing I was going to try to do, I was going to attempt to climb the tree, but upon further inspection, the tree was pretty narrow in diameter, and there was not many strong branches down low, so I didn't think it would be very safe. And also, too, since I couldn't physically locate the drone, I didn't think an arborist throwing rope to try to lasso a branch was going to work to try to shake the drone down. I also didn't think I had anything long enough. I mean, my estimates was that this drone was towards the top of the tree, in that top canopy. There's an oak tree and a maple tree that were right next to each other, so I didn't know if it was in that maple tree or if it was stuck in the oak tree just facing that. But since I couldn't locate the drone physically, I went to Google like anyone would do and started searching, how do other people get their drones down? And I think one guy on Reddit recommended, maybe calling a tree service or an arborist to see if they could rescue it. So I had started making some phone calls to some tree guys, and most of them were booked out, 1 to 2 months, 6 weeks. Some of them were no, or, not interested.
But fortunately enough for me, there was one tree service that was available to come out the next day, only because he had a couple of cancellations in his very busy summer schedule. And that was Reese with Timbershark out of Martinsburg, West Virginia. Now, we were estimating that this drone was maybe 35-40 feet up in the tree. I don't personally believe that I would have been able to get this down by myself without his help. And he was so efficient, it took him longer to set up the truck than it did for him to actually find and retrieve the drone, so I'm very thankful for that. Stay tuned as well, because I was actually able to interview Reese. I was able to ask him a couple quick questions after this drone rescue.
Reese, thank you so much again for rescuing the drone.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't believe it's in one piece. Like, it actually looks pretty good.
It does. It looks great.
Yeah.
I love the sticker.
Yeah, the Gandalf fly. I love Lord of the Rings, as a side note. So tell me, Reese, do you think that someone could have climbed that tree to retrieve that drone?
I don't think so. That tree was tall, but it was very skinny, and where that was lodged was in the Y of 2 branches. And it would have been almost impossible to get out there. So, I mean, the bucket truck it made a world of difference retrieving that. Yeah, this is a pretty sweet bucket truck, and yeah, I definitely, that only took you like 5 minutes too. That was quick work. That was really cool. Yep, efficiency.
Yeah, so tell me, Reese, where are you guys located? Where are you based out of?
So we're based out of Martinsburg. We service the tri-state area, Hedgesville, all the way down to Virginia, Maryland, that area, that region.
Okay, perfect. So you're like Virginia, is it Maryland as well, Pennsylvania?
Yep, Frederick County, Virginia, Frederick County, Maryland, Washington County, Maryland.
Nice.
Then obviously Berkeley, Jefferson County, that surrounding area.
Well, thank you again so much.
Yeah,
thank you. That's really cool. That's really good to know. So do you think that you're going to be adding drone rescue to your services anytime soon?
You know what? I think so. That was pretty fun. It was fast. I'm really glad we were able to retrieve that drone. It kind of got me thinking, honestly, something that I see fire departments do sometimes is cat rescue.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You know,
yeah.
and I've got the bucket and the cat's up in the tree. It's like, why not? I love cats anyhow, so
Sweet.
It could be an opportunity.
Okay. Well, everybody, this is Reese with Timbershark. If you need any trees trimmed or removed, I'm going to give you a 5-star review. I really appreciate you rescuing my drone. So,
yeah, thank you.
Reese, thank you again for everything. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
All right. Take care.
Once we were wrapped up, I was inspecting the drone, and to my pleasant surprise, everything looked like it was okay. It didn't look like it was damaged. The gimbal could still move. I didn't hear any, many gears grinding or anything. Didn't see any cracking on any of the plastics. The only thing that I did find is one of the propellers. It was debatable whether or not I needed to replace it, but I went ahead and replaced it because it had a scratch here on the very edge. But I was very surprised. I mean, this has been a fantastic drone, and it was 100% operator error. It was not the drone's fault that this crash happened. So I'm very satisfied with this little thing. Once I had brought the drone home and charged up the battery, I just went over everything thoroughly one more time, just to double check, make sure there's no more mechanical issues. And I normally just hand launch this drone because it's pretty easy enough to launch it and catch it. But since I was unsure about the mechanical integrity of this, just in case there was a motor failure or anything, I wanted to make sure I tested the motors, and I felt more comfortable launching it from the ground this time. To my surprise too, this drone just works as advertised. I mean, there's no side effects from it being crashed other than that one propeller. I think it was a pretty minor accident. I think it more just kind of got stuck up in the tree branches at the top of the canopy. It wasn't like a hard drone collision into the trunk of the tree or anything. But you guys let me know in the comments section. Have you ever gotten a drone stuck in a tree? And if so, what did you use to get it down? Were you able to climb? Were you able to use a rope? Is a tree service overkill? Or is it one of the best things? And, if you're a tree service, is this something that you'd consider? Maybe just having this be part of your service, especially if times are slow. Go help people rescue drones. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. And I really appreciate you guys watching. And this isn't a video that I had really planned on making, but I just figured I would try to educate someone or hopefully help someone out.